Boeing reaches tentative agreement with Machinists Union. QA expert Daryl Guberman says layoff within 6 months to 1 year. They got a 25%, I guess, increase. Where was that during the time of Dennis Muhlenberg, who got $60 million as a death benefit for the Ethiopian Air and Indonesian Air? And I really say that with a heavy heart. I'm going to read this to you. This was one of my recommendation letters from a customer of mine who I had for now 8 years. And he is very poignant. I sent in, and here it is, ladies and gentlemen. I sent in a 42-page document. Let me take the glare out of that for you. I sent a 42-page document with my experience, my education, and 11 letters of recommendation to the Boeing board, 11 members who we're going to be showing you later on this week. Each one of them will be getting the full brunt of the whole Boeing in 2002 giving up supplier auditing and inspection at their facility to a piece of paper called AS9100, as long as it's ANSI ANAB accredited. And also, they gave up special process certification to Performance Review Institute for heat treat, welding, etc., non-destructive testing from 2002 on. Boeing sits on ANSI ANAB's board that can grant, suspend, and withdraw certification. They took that document down from their internet site. I have a copy of it. I took a snapshot of it in March. They, again, mentioned Boeing. You're going to see that shortly in their supplier bulletin from 2002. Also, you're going to see the performance review. And the funniest thing about that one on their supplier portal is that it didn't have Boeing's logo on it. Maybe they were trying to hide it. It's absolutely abominable. So I'm going to read this to you. You also have the factor that on their supplier portal, it says third-party registers must be accredited to ANSI, ANAB, or international equivalent. You have the factor that the 2002, you have the supplier bulletin, ANSI, ANAB, send in your AS9100 cert, as long as ANSI, ANAB accredited, send in your parts. Also, the special processes, just send in your certificate from PRI, send in your parts, we're good to go for 22 years. And also they sit, as I told you, on ANSI ANAB's board that can grant, suspend, and withdraw certification. The high point is that they were made FAA regulators in 2009, and you'll see all of this soon. But I want to read you Ralph's letter. And I thank you, Ralph, by the way. To whom it may concern, I've been in manufacturing for over 40 years. And 10 of those years as a business owner. I have been a customer of Daryl Guberman for 8 years and chose to go with a local company for my ISO certification over ANSI ANAB, which to me seems to be a pay-for-play scam. When Daryl asked me to write a recommendation letter for him to be CEO of Boeing and or head of quality, I laughed. Why would they ever consider you? I said to him, his answer was, I can bring quality into the forefront of Boeing. And you know what? He's right. His experience and knowledge can do just that. Now I know that there is no way you bring an outsider into this as the CEO. They might show how much the quality system, they might show how bad the quality system really is. Spoiler alert. We, the people, already know that fly on these aircraft. Maybe you should consider Mr. Guberman, if not for CEO, at least a consulting position to restore our faith in the product Boeing produces. Sincerely, Ralph. Thank you, Ralph. And let's continue on. Boeing sits on ANSI ANAB's board. ANSI ANAB is the underwriter and also founder of the International Accreditation Forum, located incorporated in Delaware. They're an underwriter. The IAF is a association of accreditation bodies, both national and international, and all the accreditation bodies that sit there are equivalent in accreditation to ANAB, including IAF's sister organization, ILAC, the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation, located in Australia. This came right off the Boeing supplier portal. This states that we believe that the program offers, this is for special processes, we believe that the program offers significant benefits to Boeing, our suppliers and processors, through increased productivity, improved quality, and eliminated redundancies, and reduce costs. Wouldn't you want to have redundancies in an aircraft that can go down and kill 300 people? And the NADCAP, which the Performance Review Institute is implementing for Boeing, is called National Aerospace and Defense Contractors Accreditation Program. In 2009, Boeing was made an FAA regulator to self-certify their own aircraft designs, aircraft electronics technologies, which encompasses the MCAS system. 2009, as you can see, it says self-certify. And if you kept on reading this, I'll gladly send it to you, 203-556-1493, or Daryl, TQRS@yahoo.com. And then in 2019, we had a spokesperson for the FAA state that the FAA has never allowed companies to police themselves or self-certify. 2009, it says the FAA made Boeing to self-certify. So who is lying, ladies and gentlemen? Now we have in 2002, I told you about the procurement bulletin for their suppliers, and it says must be ANSI, ANAB, or it says it needs the AS 9100 certificate must be ANSI, ANAB accredited, and it states on-site Boeing survey, that means audit of suppliers' quality system if need be. Our preference is to deal with proven suppliers with excellent quality performance and not have to do on-site quality system surveys or /audits. So that means for 22 years, they basically said, send in your AS 9100 certificate as long as it's ANSI ANAB accredited, and you're good to go. And then we have Mr. Robert Kelly Oberg. I'm not going to go into the situation where he was on board when his employees were going over to Europe, China, Russia, what have you, and they had 750 issues of cybersecurity issues under his watch. This is showing you the timeline for the MCAS system. As I told you, he is the CEO during the time when the MCAS system was designed, manufactured, and implemented at Boeing, okay? Dennis Muhlenberg happened to be the fall guy. And this is what happened here. 348 souls that Mr. Oberg brings with him to Boeing's shores. That's a hell of a lot of people, under his watch. But I think what happened is they finagled it, and Dennis Muhlenberg was going to be the fall guy because Mr. Robert Kelly Oberg, skedaddled in 2021. He stepped down from Rockwell Collins. Unbelievable. He was never inquisitioned at the DHS subcommittee, and I'm going to tell you this. I've showed you this before. I'm just going to tell you it verbally. Let's see if we have it here. I don't think we have it. And by the way, Rockwell Collins sits as a member on ANSI ANAB. Do you see how incestuous this is? So I'm going to tell you this real quick. You have the Department of Homeland Security that I stood up. I've showed you those pictures many times. Look me up, Daryl Guberman, Boeing, Daryl Guberman, Boeing. Put in the search engine, hit the images, and they'll all pop up with my purple tie. So here it goes. Department of Homeland Security sits on ANSI ANAB's board. All these agencies do. They sit on ANSI's board. That's DHS. DOJ does, Department of Justice. FDA does, and also Department of Commerce. They are not just, ladies and gentlemen, are you listening to me? They are just not members of ANSI ANAB's board, but they are customers that utilize ANSI ANAB for whatever they're going to be doing there. I know on one of the reports I saw, it was $2.7 million these federal agencies were paying into the coffers of ANSI ANAB as customers. Can you imagine, are we getting a fair treatment when you have the DHS with Richard Blumenthal inquisitioning David Calhoun on June 18th? Unbelievable. And then listening to Sam Salipar on April 17th, where I was there. I stood up. I supported it. Okay? And I gave information to Richard Blumenthal's staff, who has yet to make a turn and ask me as an expert quality witness for 40 plus years. Just remember, when you sit on the plane, you're not getting this information from a guy who just started out. He's wet behind the ears when it comes to quality. 40 plus years, aerospace, medical implants, materials, printing, and plastic distribution, where we dealt with everything under the sun. 203-556-1493 or Daryl, Daryl, TQRS @yahoo.com. I thank you.